When I was just 14, my grandfather passed away. He wasn't loud or complicated. He was a quiet man, calm, gentle, the kind of person who found joy in small things. He never raised his voice, and he rarely talked about himself. But there was one thing he always had with him, a silver wristwatch. It wasn't fancy. No gold, no brand name worth mentioning. Just a simple, well-worn watch with a soft ticking sound that followed him everywhere. The kind of sound that fades into the background until it's gone. After the funeral, my mother placed that watch in a small wooden box and tucked it away in the top drawer of her dresser. I remember seeing her hold it for a moment, quietly, almost like she was listening for something, before she closed the lid. By then, the watch had long stopped working. The gears were old, unmoving. The hands frozen in place, stuck forever at exactly 3. We didn't think much of it. It was just another keepsake from someone we loved. Life moved on, and eventually I forgot about the watch. Forgot about the way it used to sound. Forgot about the way it used to sit on his wrist, like it belonged there. Until, 1 year later, something changed. It happened 1 year later, exactly on the anniversary of my grandfather's passing. It was around 3 in the morning when I suddenly woke up. No dream, no noise, just an odd feeling in my chest. The kind that pulls you out of sleep without explanation. Then I heard it. Tick, tick, tick. At first, I thought I imagined it. I lay there in the dark, heart beating a little faster. The sound was soft, almost hesitant, like it wasn't meant to be heard, but somehow reached me anyway. Curious, and maybe a little afraid, I got up and followed the sound. It led me to my mother's dresser, the top drawer, the box. When I opened it, I couldn't believe what I saw. The silver watch, the same one that hadn't worked in years, was ticking. Slowly, steadily. The hands were moving again, passing 3 like time had never stopped. I stared at it for what felt like forever, holding my breath. And then it stopped. Just like that. Silence again. I told my mother. She thought I was dreaming. My friends laughed. No one believed me. But then it happened again. 1 year later. Same drawer, same time, same ticking for exactly 1 minute. It's been 7 years now. 7 quiet, strange anniversaries. And every year at 3 a.m., the watch ticks once more. Just long enough to say hello. 7 years. That's how long it's been since the first time the watch came back to life. And every year since, like clockwork, no pun intended, it has returned. Always the same. Always at exactly 3 a.m. Just for 1 minute. At first I thought maybe there was a rational explanation. A temperature shift in the room. Some strange electrical pulse. Maybe even a trick of memory. A dream I'd convinced myself was real. But the pattern never changed. Never once. And deep down, I stopped trying to explain it. Now I don't wait for it. I don't stay up to see it happen. But I always wake up at 3 as if something inside me remembers. And even though I never open the box anymore, I still hear it. Tick, tick, tick. It's faint, barely there, but it's enough. Some people would be frightened. Some might think it's supernatural, even sinister. But not me. To me, it's comforting, like a whisper from the past. A gentle reminder that the people we love never truly leave us. I like to think it's my grandfather saying hello, not in words, not in dreams, but in time. In something small, something quiet, something only I was meant to notice. Maybe someday the ticking will stop for good. Maybe it won't. But as long as it comes, I'll be listening. Some say it's a coincidence. Others call it impossible. And I've heard people say it's just an old watch. Don't read too much into it. But for me, it's something else entirely. It's not about proving anything. It's not about ghosts or science or logic. It's about the feeling. That small, steady ticking in the quietest part of the night, when the world is still and memory feels close enough to touch. It's about connection, about love that lingers, about how time doesn't always move in straight lines. Maybe it means nothing, or maybe it means everything. I don't need answers. All I know is this. Every year on one quiet night, at exactly 3 in the morning, a broken watch ticks again. And in that 1 minute, I don't feel alone. I used to think that when someone passes away, they're just gone, that life moves on, and the world forgets. But now I'm not so sure. That broken watch changed something in me. It's not just about what happened, the ticking, the timing, the strange coincidence. It's about what it meant. Because in the silence of those early hours, in that 1 minute a year, I feel something I can't explain. Not fear, not sadness, something warmer, like presence, like memory, like love that learned how to echo through time. I never told many people. I didn't want to ruin it by trying to define it. Some might say it's just grief playing tricks on me, but it doesn't feel like a trick. It feels intentional, gentle, real. We all carry pieces of those we've lost, sometimes in photos, sometimes in letters, and sometimes, if we're lucky, in little moments that don't make sense, but somehow feel right. This story isn't about a haunted object. It's not about magic. It's about a connection that didn't break when the heartbeat stopped. A quiet watch, a quiet goodbye, a quiet hello, every year without fail. And maybe that's the most mysterious part of all. Not that it happens, but that it still matters. Sometimes I wonder why it's always just 1 minute. Why not longer? Why not shorter? Why not a full hour or just a fleeting second? But maybe that's the point. Maybe we don't need a grand sign or a voice from beyond. Maybe all we really need is a small moment, a quiet reminder that love once existed here and still does. That 1 minute, it taught me something. That time doesn't always move forward. Sometimes it loops back to a place, to a person, to a memory that refuses to fade. I've come to believe that the ticking isn't meant to scare me or even surprise me. It's meant to comfort, to connect, to carry something forward when everything else feels like it's slipping away. We live in a noisy world, but there in that 1 minute of stillness, between midnight and morning, I hear something pure, something simple. Not a voice, not a ghost, just the sound of someone I loved saying, I'm still here, just for a while. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all we ever really need, a moment that reminds us we're not alone in the dark. So now every year, I let the minute come and go. No fear, no questions, only gratitude. Because somewhere between the silence and the ticking, there is love, still alive, still listening. They say time heals all wounds, but maybe time does something even deeper. Maybe it remembers. Maybe in the quiet corners of the night, in the hush before dawn, time leaves behind little traces of those we loved. Not to haunt us, not to hurt us, but to remind us they were here. And in some small way, they still are. That old watch never needed to be fixed. It never asked for attention. It simply chose 1 minute, once a year, to remind me that love isn't bound by ticking hands or broken gears. It taught me that even silence can hold meaning. Even stillness can whisper. And maybe, just maybe, the past isn't as far away as we think. We spend so much time rushing forward, chasing noise and light, but there's something beautiful in looking back, in remembering softly. So if you ever wake at an odd hour and feel something familiar, don't ignore it. Pause. Listen. Because sometimes the most mysterious moments are not about the unknown, but about the things we thought we'd lost, still finding their way back to us. In time, in memory, in one quiet minute. Now the watch stays in its box, untouched, unmoved, except for that 1 minute each year. I don't tell people the story anymore, not because I doubt it, but because I've come to understand that not every mystery needs solving. Some are meant to be felt, not explained. It's strange how something so small, a quiet ticking in the dark, can anchor you so deeply to someone you've lost. Not with pain, but with peace. I think we all have something like that. A sound, a scent. A moment that finds us when we least expect it and gently reminds us that love leaves echoes. You don't need to believe in ghosts. You don't need to believe in magic. Just believe that some connections never break, even when time does. So if you ever hear a sound you thought was gone, don't be afraid. It might just be someone saying, I remember you too. So here it is. My quiet little story about a broken watch and a love that refused to stay silent. There are no answers waiting at the end, no final twist, just a feeling, soft, persistent, that some things are meant to stay mysterious. I don't know why it happens. I don't need to. What matters is that once a year in the stillness of 3 a.m., I'm reminded of someone I miss, not in sadness, but in presence. It's not about the ticking anymore. It's about what it brings with it, memory, warmth, and the quiet kind of magic that only time and love can create. If you've ever lost someone, maybe this story finds you in the right moment. Maybe it reminds you to listen for the little things, the faint echoes that say, you're not alone. Because the most mysterious moments aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're just 1 minute, one sound, and a heart that remembers.